And so we're almost there, guys, but we need to now go back into Stripe and add a couple more things. Today, guys, is the first of many tutorials where we start talking about the new Replit agent and its AI coder, because it is now the world's best AI coder by far, and it builds apps really well using Stripe and database integrations so that you can actually launch your software. So a lot of you guys have been asking about this, and this is just the first breakdown of an entire series of videos where we build softwares together, and we're moving from Bolt onto Replit agent. And if you're new here, I want to just show you guys some of the no-code apps that we've been building using AI. And so here are a couple of them that are growing really rapidly for our company, right? We got Clonify, that is basically a personal branding clone that you can generate of yourself that'll blow up your social media platforms. We also have Stock Talk, that is basically stock analytics on steroids. It basically tells you information that you've never seen before, and this information used to basically only be available for insider traders. And so the reason why I bring this up is that it's proof that I know what I'm talking about. So now that we're in the computer, guys, the first thing we're gonna do is head to Stripe, because Stripe is where we actually start receiving our payments, right? So in Stripe, there's a couple things that I need you guys to do. So we're gonna head into my own dashboard here, and we're gonna switch the mode to test mode. Okay, so when you're in test mode, you're able to play with the Stripe APIs without actually having to pay any money. And if you guys see in this bottom left-hand corner here, we have the developers tab. We're gonna click on the developers tab, and it's gonna send us to this page. Now on this page, guys, there's some API keys that we need to actually save. So we have both the publishable key and the secret key that we're both going to save and add to our notepad on your computer. So you're going to do that first. Now the next thing we're going to do, guys, is make a test product. So this test product, guys, is going to be $9.99 on a recurring payment. You're going to go and set that up. And once you set that up, guys, you're going to go to the three dots that are beside the price that you set, and you're going to copy this price ID, and you're going to also add that to your notepad. Now that you have those three things, we can now start building our app using Replit agent. Now that we're in Replit agent, guys, I want you to literally copy this exact prompt, and this prompt sequence is actually going to be available in the No Code Academy as well. So you can just go and grab that if you don't want to pause the video. Okay, guys, so basically this first prompt is just going to build a very simple application that makes 3D shapes fall from the sky. Okay, and the reason why we're doing this is because we need to build a logic that allows us to differentiate between the free plan and the pro plan. So when a user signs in, they're going to be allowed to use the free plan for 2 of these 3D shape generations, just so that we can start building out the Stripe integration. Okay, so this isn't a real app. This is just kind of a template that once you build it, you can then build on top of. So we're going to send this first prompt in. Okay, guys, so we just got the first prompt back from our agent, and it proposed what it wants us to build. And it also gives you some extra features that it wants you to add. And for this build out, we're not going to allow it to add any new features. Okay, so we're just going to build the initial prototype. We're going to click approve plan and get things started. Now, while that's happening, I can talk about another insane feature that Replit agent has that I haven't seen anywhere else. And so the first thing that I want to talk about is the fact that they have a database already integrated into the Replit ecosystem. So this elephant emoji that you guys see right below me is the database. And so when you're building your MVP, you don't even need to connect it to like a Superbase or an Airtable, because it already has that integrated. Now, the other really cool thing is that you guys can see here, we're talking with the agent, but we can also talk to an assistant that will be a much cheaper way for us to figure out what errors we have and different things we want to implement. And so this is going to save us a lot of costs when we're actually building out our application, because the Replit agent costs 25 cents every single time we ask it to do something. So we're still in the first prompt, but as you guys can see here, it's actually installing the Stripe dependencies that we need. And on Bolt, that just never happened. So you guys can already tell that this thing is way ahead. It's literally miles above any of the other AI coders that we've seen. All right, guys, so the prompt has finished, and now it's asking for the secrets that I told you guys to save. And so it's going to ask for the price ID that we saved, the secret key, the webhook secret, and the public key. And so we're going to go back and we're going to grab that public key, and then we're going to send it in. So right here, we're going to go back into our Stripe. We're going to go back into developers. And so I'm just going to copy this public key here, and we're going to head back to our agent, and we're going to give it the information. And the really cool thing is that this secret is actually something that we can look at all moments in time. So for now, we're going to add this to our account secrets. And then we're going to open up another tab on the right hand side. And on the right hand side here, we can look at all of our secrets that I've saved over the course of the different applications that I've been building with Replit Agent. And so the other beautiful thing about this, guys, is that once you learn how to use Replit Agent to set up a Stripe integration once, you can then do it again and again and again. And this is why you'd rather learn how to build an AI app than have someone build it for you, because if you build an AI app by yourself and it fails, then you can actually build it again with a new idea, instead of having to pay someone thousands of dollars to build an AI app that you don't know whether or not it's going to succeed. And so the beautiful thing about this is you're skilling up. Okay, so there seems to be a minor error, so I'm just going to say screen is not loading, and then I'm just going to let it fix the error because it's probably just a dependency that it hasn't installed yet, so no issues there. It has finally finished with all of the different code that it needed to add, and we have the login system set up. So we're going to just quickly add a register for an account, and we can see that the registration just has a username and password. So there's one more thing we need to add. We need the registration to have an email, and that act as the unique ID that separates the users from each other. So that's the next step we're going to add here. So we're going to say when a user is registering, page. Okay guys, so now it's completely set up with the email. So now let's just do a registration with a test account. So there we go, let's register. And we got our first error. So it says error, invalid input required. So I'm just gonna let it know that, right? So let's say when I tried registering with my email, it seems to have updated that newest fix. So now let's see if we can actually sign in with our email, because if we can, then we're basically halfway there with getting the entire user authentication in Stripe set up. So now that we have this here, we're just going to put in that same email. We're going to put in a fake, fake password here, and we're just going to register. Okay, beautiful. So now that we're in the actual application, let's see if the generate shape works. Boom. So it created this cool looking 3D shape that's animated. It told us that it's a sphere. We have one more that we can make, so let's see what it creates. We got a cone that looks pretty cool as well. And now if we try one more time, it's going to not work, right? And so we're almost there, guys, but we need to now go back into Stripe and add a couple more things, because now we have the actual URL that displays our test environment. So we're going to open up this URL in this new page. And this URL is what we need to bring over to Stripe, because if I click this upgrade to Pro button, it won't work. And so we're going to copy this and we're going to head back to Stripe. And so in Stripe, guys, we're going to head into these webhooks. And as you guys can see, we've done a bunch of different tests in the past, and we're going to click add webhook. And here we're going to add in that URL. And here you have to add the endpoint API/webhook. Okay, so that's the redirect. It's a redirect URL. And we're going to select the events to listen to. And the cool thing about Stripe is there's so many different events that it can actually watch and notify you about. But for this example, guys, the only one that we need is inside of checkout, and it's called checkout session completed. Because once a user successfully makes a payment, we need to actually grab that event and change their plan from free to paid. And we also want to get notified when we make a sale. And so we're going to click that. We're going to go to the bottom here. We're going to click add events. And so now that's entirely set up, we're going to click add endpoints. So now that that's set up, guys, we're still not completely done, because we need to actually add this secret here. So we're going to click reveal, and we're going to grab this signing secret. So we're going to copy that, and we're going to head back to our Replit agent. And so now that we're back in our Replit agent, we can open up the secrets that I was talking about. And there's two different tabs of secrets. There's the REPL secrets, which is the secrets that are for this application. And then there's the account secrets, which are all of your secrets saved in the database, and you get to choose whether you want to use them or not. And so in this example, guys, we're going to go into the REPL secrets, and we're going to delete the Stripe webhook that we already had. So I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to delete it. And I'm going to add a new secret. And that secret is going to be that Stripe webhook secret that we got from our new webhook. And so we're going to just copy this, and we're going to head back into Replit, and we're going to add that value in. And so now we have the Stripe webhook secret, we have the Stripe secret key, but we still need to add a couple more things that are over in the account secrets. And so the first one we want to add is our Stripe price ID, because our Stripe price ID, like I said, is the thing that we copied to actually use this for. And so the price ID, like I said, guys, it's in this 3 dots right here once you actually create your test product. So you're going to copy that price ID and we can head back to Replit. We can go into our REPL secrets and we can start pasting that in as well. So we're going to quickly grab this Stripe price ID wording. We're going to go into our REPL secrets. We're going to add that Stripe price ID and then we're going to copy the ID itself. And then we're going to paste that baby in. And so now we have the Stripe webhook, the Stripe price ID, the Stripe secret key. Now I think the last thing that we need is the Stripe public key. And so we're going to do that one more time, right? So we're going to go into our account secrets. We're going to grab the Stripe public key here. We're going to copy it. We're going to go into our REPL secrets. We're going to add it. We're actually going to get rid of this vt. We're just going to go Stripe underscore public underscore key. And the value is going to be back in our Stripe environment as well. So this is the last thing that we need. We're going to go into the developers. We're going to go into the APIs and we're going to grab that secret key this time. And now we're going to, we're going to grab that public key. So we're going to go grab that public key this time. We're going to go back into Replit. We're going to paste that in and add the secret. So now we should have everything that we need. Okay, so we're just going to stop the application because now it has all of this information. So we're going to stop it and then we're going to run it again. Okay guys, so now we're going to log in with that same account because it should still remember that we already used our free generations. So now that we're logged in, we can see that we've used all of our free generations. And now we're going to click upgrade to pro. And so we're going to click subscribe now and we got an error. And so we're just going to copy this error here. We're going to head back to our Replit environment and we're going to let it know. So we're going to say, when I tried to upgrade to pro, I got this error, and just paste that baby in. And so this is the part where I was talking about the logs, guys, right? So it's going to now write the logs to actually see where the error is occurring, and it's going to find that error and it's going to solve it all on its own. And this is why it takes a little bit longer than something like Bolt, because it actually fixes the problem instead of just pretending like it fixes the problem. And this is why we're staying with Replit for the foreseeable future. While Replit's actually figuring that out, you can also learn just by reading what the error is, right? So the runtime just ran out and it basically timed out, and that's basically all that's happening. So if you want more information about that error though, you can always copy that message and send it to the assistant, because the assistant doesn't actually touch your code. And if it does touch your code, you can actually just turn off that feature. And so the assistant can just read and tell you what's wrong. It's kind of like having ChatGPT, but it's like having ChatGPT that can read your entire code. And so if it can do that, then it's going to actually help you determine what the error is much faster than if you had to use an external Claude or an external OpenAI. Okay, so now let's try logging in one more time. Let's go to upgrade to pro. Oh wait, actually, so one more thing, guys. You can't actually open up the webhook in the environment because it doesn't allow you. It's like a safety risk, they say. So this is why we have to actually copy this link and open it in a new tab. Okay, so that's why we do it in this new tab. And we're going to click upgrade to pro and see what happens. And so now we got a new error, so that's good. We're moving forward. And so we're just going to tell the AI what that says. So it says unexpected token, doc type is not valid. So I'm just going to say that exact thing here. All right, so now let's try that one more time. Let's refresh the external page. Let's log in. And then let's go upgrade pro, subscribe now. And we got a new error. And I remember actually seeing this error. It says like the beginning needs to start with an HTTP or HTTPS, which is a really good sign. It means we're almost there. So we're just going to copy this in to the Replit agent. So I'm going to say new error with this when I tried to subscribe. And so if it can't solve that error, we can literally just give it this entire link because it has the HTTPS that we need, right? So we can also go into update details and we can just copy this endpoint URL and we can give it to our Replit agent just so it knows what actually the error is. So we're actually going to do that instead. We're going to pause it and we're going to say the valid URL is something like this, is this. Please update. Okay guys, so let's log in. Let's go to upgrade to pro. Let's click subscribe now. And we have a new error. So there's no such customer. So what we're going to do actually, because we've been using that same account and there might have been some duplicates, we're going to make a brand new account. So we're just going to use another email. We're going to click register. And now we're going to generate a shape, and we're going to generate one more shape. So now we've generated 2 shapes with the new account. We're going to try the third one, and the limit has been reached. So that works so far. We're going to go to upgrade to Pro. It brings us to the Stripe checkout. We're just going to fill it up with all of this useless information, and we're going to check out really quick. So let's see what happens this time. Okay, so it said that the payment was successful, but then when it tried to redirect us back to the page, it gave us this blue screen. So the first thing that we can do is we can go to this home page and we can see if we got a payment, which we did. So we did end up getting the payment, which is perfect. The only reason why this error is happening is because it's not redirecting us back to the website correctly. And so that's all we have to tell the agent. So we're just going to say, hey, the Stripe payment worked, but the redirect back to the application, please solve. Okay, so it just gave us that update. So now let's see if it works. We're going to go back into our Replit. We're going to sign up with a new account again, and we're going to see how everything works. So we're registered. We have 2 free generations. Let's go. We created a cube. Now we created a sphere. Now let's go upgrade. Let's click subscribe now. And let's see if it actually sends us back to the page and allows us to actually make unlimited 3D generations. Okay, so that worked. It did send us back, but what might happen is that it didn't change the plan from free to paid. And so we're going to see here, yeah, so it still has us as the free plan. So the last logic that we need to send into this agent is that exact thing, that once that created session is completed and the payment is received, we need to change the plan for the user to Pro. And so I'm just going to write that here. Okay, so you guys can pause the screen. I'm just going to send that in. So it's going to, again, offer all of these other features, but we're just working on the functionality right now. So I'm going to ignore all of these features, and I'm just going to click approve plan and start. And so this message here is a really good sign because it understands exactly what the issue is. And basically what's happening is that the user subscription status is not being updated in the database once they make a payment. And so now it's going to work on that logic that once it gets that payment, it should then go into the database, and whoever paid should then be a pro. Okay, let's try that again. We're going to make another fake account, and we're going to register. Okay, so we're going to go 1, 2. Okay, we can't make any more. Let's go upgrade. Subscribe now. Let's do all of this. Okay. Okay, so now it's redirecting. See, I said verifying your subscription, which looked good, but now we got another blank screen. So we're going to copy this again. We're just going to say payment worked, but the redirect failed. Okay, let's try that one more time. Let's copy the link. We're going to go paste it here. We're going to make another account. Okay, we got the shapes. We're going to click upgrade to Pro. All right, let's see where it sends us. Oh my fuck. And so even though that this failed, guys, we can try one thing just to see where we're currently standing. And so we're going to open up this link one more time. We're going to go here. We're just going to open it up, right? But now we're going to sign in with that account, right? So we're going to log out, and we're going to sign in with that account that we just used, because if it says that it's a Pro subscription, that's another good sign. So we're going to log in, and we're going to see if we can generate a new shape here. So we can. So we do have the Pro membership. So that is working. Now, the only thing that's not working is the redirect, right? So I'm going to say redirect is still not working. Please fix so that when the user successfully plays, they get Pro access to the application. So I think we're there. I think with this last update that the Replit agent gives us, the entire functionality is built. And what that means, guys, is that then you have an application that you can build on top of that has all of the logic that you need. It has the Stripe integration, it has the user authentication, it's storing the email as the primary key, which allows you to uniquely identify the different users, and it all is working pretty seamlessly. And the beautiful thing about that is now that you've learned how to do this, redoing it is much easier, and it's going to save you a lot of time. And so the reason why we want to stay with Replit is that then all of that information is going to be stored in your secrets anyways. And so the ability for you to just fire up a new application when you have a new idea is much easier, and it's also just much better than any other application that we've used so far with no code tools. And so hopefully this last update gets the job done. So we're going to register with a new account. Okay, we reached the limit, upgrade to Pro, subscribe now. And boom, it sent us back to the main page. And so now let's see if everything's working. Let's try and create a new shape. Boom. Okay, so that's obviously working well now. Now, the couple of things that are still not there, it doesn't say that we have the Pro subscription in the nav bar. It also says that we have -3 free generations remaining. But what we can see, guys, is that we have the functionality built, right? So now this user is a Pro user that has paid. And so the moment that they paid, they got back to the website with everything set up. And so what this means, guys, is I'm going to be now coming out with at least 10 videos after this one that are going to be step-by-step AI application build outs that you guys can build and sell on your own. And so this is very exciting because I tried to do the same thing with Bolt, but we had a lot of issues showing you guys how to add Stripe and how to add a database integrated into Bolt. And that was a massive headache and it was really pissing me off. And so now moving forward, guys, we're going to be doing everything using Replit Agent, and you're going to come back to this tutorial to learn how to add your own Stripe integrations and how to add your user authentication with the email. And so every single application that we build together is going to be just like this in terms of the Stripe integration. And so I really hope that this helped you guys, but more importantly, I'm really excited to now start launching softwares with you guys, because we currently have 3 software companies that are growing rapidly, and now it's your turn to now join us. And in our academy, our goal for 2025 is to help people generate 6 and 7 figures with AI applications or their own AI agencies. And so this is a massive game changer for that.